Hi guys and welcome to Thrustzone.com. This is Mohit Soni. This is going to be a very quick review of the brand new bike, what Bajaj likes to call is the Bajaj N150. So as you can see, that N150 badge there, and this is a 150 with a 160's headlight. That means that you have LED DRLs and LED projectors, which are segment best in terms of illumination. I just did a video on it as well a week ago, and this is the bike. Everything is the same as the Pulsar 250 and the N160 to a very large extent, at least the front and the side tank and the side panel and everything else. It is just this single piece seat which is being stepped a bit is on offer. Grab handles are one piece unit, and you get this tail lamps on offer, which are previously seen on the bike as well. Underbelly exhaust is on offer. Main stand is on offer. It's the same tank. It is now upgraded to E20 fuel, so that it can meet future compliance. And that's the USB port right there. And you've got this sort of extra grease running out of the cone set for some reason. This is, like I told you, the headlight is brilliant. You get a single channel ABS at the front, and even at 1.17 lakh rupees ex showroom, you are getting a drum brake at the back with the request sensor for the ABS. That's about it, because it's got a single channel ABS and a single disc brake. So at this price point, I don't think a drum brake is really an ideal choice. Customers do expect a disc brake at the back as well, and it's an N150, supposed to be slightly premium, slightly more sporty requirements from the customer, and they would have wanted a disc brake at the back. And there is only one variant on offer. The second thing, of course, is the Infinity cluster here, which remains the same as well. You get fuel range, trip, distance to empty, like I said, odometer, gear shift indicator, and telltale lights. That's it. A very simple instrument cluster, making sure the costs are in check. The other thing that has changed on this very specific bike is that the LED projectors and DRLs both are going to stay lit all the time, because the button from here has been removed. It was there on the 160, it was on there on the 250 as well. It has been now removed in this version. And one thing continues to be a sore point with the Pulsar is this tank. It isn't flat like this, it's actually protruding out, so that this makes a problem for some heavier riders like me. Even I am 5'11", with boots. Despite that, at times I am tiptoeing if I am grabbing the tank really well. Bajaj says that you sit inside the bike, and when you do that and you are so very close to the tank, and you put your feet on the ground, they don't actually reach. There's a bit of tiptoeing. So I think this tank design could have been more flatter from this side. And that's about it. Fit finish quality is good. Build quality also seems acceptable, and at this price point, it is a big departure from the older Pulsars for sure. The paint quality and the finish of the paint also is quite good in most areas, and there is some special attention in terms of paint as always, and we can't fault anything about it. And yeah, what is it like to ride? Let's find out. So what is the Bajaj Pulsar N150 like to ride? Well, this is the same engine as the P150, making 14.5 PS of power, 13.5 Nm of torque. It is one of the lightest motorcycles in this segment, so low end torque is good, mid range is good, and top end is great as well. It is actually quite brilliant till 90 km an hour. After that, it feels a little stress. Of course, our motorcycle is brand new, so it is not very rev friendly, as it will be in the future. We've had a brand new bike on test here with barely 30 km on the odo, but it was brilliant till 90 km an hour. So riding it in the city is absolutely no problem whatsoever. It is nimble, it is agile in the corners as well. The stability at high speed and going through corners is also very reassuring, despite the fact the front tire is slightly slim, but the rear tire is actually bigger. So all of that somehow makes it much more stable in the corners as well as in the straight line. The clutch is light, the gearbox is almost smooth. The ride quality is actually also quite good. It is slightly on the stiffer side, but it's compliant enough to deal with our roads. Horribly patched or horribly cratered, it all deals all of that with really well. In terms of brakes, the brakes do feel nice, but they feel wooden at the same time. At the front, the rear brake, of course, is, like I said in the earlier part of the video, is that it's still a disc unit, it's still a drum unit, and at 1.17 lakh rupees, a disc brake is expected at the back, and it's still a single channel ABS. So this is something that Bajaj should have worked on, making the N150 a step above of the P150. But then again, the P150 is probably getting discontinued in the near future. It will all depend on the market need, and if the demand goes very low, they might discontinue the P150 and the N150 will stay. But there's a very high probability the P150 will not get discontinued, because it is much more cheaper, and you guys, the customers, the riders, always look for segmentation and or pricing. So if it fits your pricing, you will end up buying the P150. The P150 can do great in the rural and tier 2, tier 3 segments. The N150 can work really well for the enthusiasts, the college going guy, the urban guys who need a bit more style and a bit more value for their money, because they're well aware of what the options are. So you never know what's going to happen. That is the big highlight: the P150, the N150 and the N160. This portfolio is now ready. This is a segment where Bajaj is always very strong, so they're kind of either strengthening their portfolio or they're trying to correct their mistake. Only time can tell. We can't we can only assume right now what is going to happen. Apart from that, like I told you, we're impressed with the engine, the handling, the refinement that is on offer. We wish it was a little bit more value with the disc brake at the back, and certain problems that we discussed with this motorcycle and certain changes that have been done to this motorcycle are already explained. This is it. That is it for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Follow us on social media and website for everyday updates. Until then, goodbye.